Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Sean Maria. I am a witch, a pagan, a nomad, and today's video is going to be a bit more of just a chat. I have been avoiding doing these YouTube videos more recently. I had said that I was just going to film them. Perfectionism aside, expectations aside, and I haven't been. I think I started out that way. I started out with this, just film and go, and doesn't matter what you look like or what the environment looks like or anything. And it slowly shifted into what I was trying to avoid, which was, I need to be dressed a certain way, look a certain way, feel a certain way in order to be able to film. And I've just noticed that's not what I'm trying to do here. And maybe there's some wisdom in some of this. So I'm exhausted right now, and this is not the state in which I would want to film. Apparently I'm losing my voice. I would feel like I need to be in the perfect feeling, the perfect mood in order to be able to record something like this. I've been putting together my workshop. If you haven't heard about my workshop yet, or you haven't seen it, or you are interested, I'll leave a link in the description, and everything is written down there as well, and I might chat about it a bit at the end. But it's about connecting with nature. So if you do want to connect with nature, please come and join me next Monday, the 15th of June. So I've been putting a lot of work into creating this workshop, and what am I trying to say? There's something I want to say. I'm not sure what it is. I'm just trying to make everything perfect. I'm really, 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 really being struck with this idea of perfectionism getting in the way. And I never really considered myself much of a perfectionist before. And yet I'm finding that that's actually a huge part of what's getting in the way of me doing anything. It's also not just getting in the way of me doing things like doing my workshop, doing my YouTube videos. It's also getting in the way of being authentic, because authenticity, being human, it's not perfect. It's not perfect at all. It's basically the opposite of being perfect. And I don't know if it's just being an introvert, if it's my ADHD, if it's some trauma or something that I've had in my childhood. I was bullied a lot when I was younger, so I did used to express myself. I used to sort of do really crazy things with my hair and put crazy like ribbons and stuff in my hair. So I did express myself quite openly and quite authentically when I was younger. It's not like I've always been this way. Sorry for my really growly voice today. And then I got bullied for it. And that wasn't the only thing I got bullied for, but it was one of the things. And even when I've told people, family members, about dreams that I have and things that I want to do and aspirations that I have, there was always this kind of ridicule. And it might not have been this overt ridicule, but it was, okay, whatever, you can't do that. So I think I've been met a lot with pushback when I've been authentic. I've been taught inadvertently through my experiences with other people that being authentic is not safe, right? Being authentic is dangerous in the way that you don't get included, you get excluded. And as you may or may not know, being included is a human survival necessity. We are tribal creatures, and if our tribe outcasts us, then it's dangerous. It means that we don't have the supports and the resources potentially to survive on our own. back in the day, like, you know, back in the day, it would have been really dangerous for us to be exiled from our community and not be included in our community. So, yeah, I think it became this dangerous thing. It became a dangerous thing of, if I'm authentic, I won't be accepted. I'm not accepted. Especially because when I was younger, and I'm sure many of you maybe can relate to this, when I was younger, I wasn't exposed to a whole bunch of different types of people or groups of people. I only knew the people that I knew, the people that I was raised with, my family, my like town, the people in my town, the type of people in my town. And so they were all I knew. And if they didn't accept me, then people didn't accept me. And as I've gotten older, and there's some crazy noise outside, sorry about that. And as I've gotten older, like a lot older, like in my 30s, this hasn't happened until I was in my 30s, very, very late 20s. So if you're in early 20s and you're still sort of working through this, like, don't worry. I think it takes a while to get here. I really do. Yeah, I genuinely found people who are completely themselves. And in some ways they're like me, and in some ways they're not. And they just allow me to be me. I found this in my partner. I found this in my sister, my friends, who I haven't known my sister my whole life. She's my half sister. I found this in some other friends that I've made. And I'm like, oh, these people just like me for being me. Not because I'm putting across a certain performance or a certain personality. Yeah, so what I'm trying to say here is, in meeting these people as I've gotten older, and actually what I found, I had this conversation with my partner the other day, the more I've tried to be authentic, the more I found these people. So it was kind of a, there's a way to describe that, and I cannot remember what it is. I'm sure somebody will know. Maybe tell me in the comments. Trying to see how long this is. Okay, not too long. I tend to make these videos like 25 minutes. I think that might be a bit too long, so I'm trying to keep them a bit shorter now, I promise. Yeah, there's that thing where it like compounds on top of itself. And I started to be more authentic. The people around me who were already in my life, who were my people, started to become closer to me, or I started to create a deeper bond and a deeper connection with them. Then that made me feel like, oh, okay, like it feels good being myself, being a bit more authentic. So then I became more authentic, and then I attracted some more people to me. And I was like, oh, okay, this feels good. And then I became more authentic, like more myself, and I've really attracted the people who are my people. So it sounds scary, but if you're trying to, either one of those things, if you're trying to be more authentic or you're trying to find your people, to be honest, I think they're, generally speaking, quite connected. But maybe at the moment you're only really considering one of those things. Just like start being authentic. And I don't think you're gonna, if you're like me, or you were like me in the past, where you were like just covering up who you are because it did not feel safe to be authentic, then don't feel like you need to be 100% completely authentically every part of yourself from one day to the next. It's going to take time, but if you just try intentionally to be more authentic with who you are, or parts of who you are, or be more authentic in a certain environment. So for example, the way I started practicing more of my authenticity was through my content creation. I'm not saying that's what you have to do specifically, but maybe you're an artist, maybe you're a writer, maybe you're more authentic at work, or maybe you're more authentic in front of your family to start with, whatever feels the most comfortable. And yeah, the more you start to be authentic, the more you attract your people, the more you understand that being authentically you is a good thing. And then you feel like you can be more authentic. And I feel like it really compounds. So yeah, a little bit of advice there, if you're feeling the same way I did. Yeah, so what else did I want to say? yeah, I'm exhausted right now. Oops, I forgot I had a mic in my hand and just point it over here. um, I'm exhausted. I've been working so hard the last week or so trying to get this workshop together. It's the first time I've done anything like this, and it's a lot more work than I was expecting. It's just like a lot more to consider. Like I was like, oh, I just need to do A, B, C, and D. And it's like, oh no, there's also E, F, G, blah, blah, blah. There's so many more things that I need to do and think about and prepare, which is wonderful and it's amazing, but it's really stepping out of my comfort zone and forcing me to grow. That was one of the things I wanted to come on here and speak about, I remember. It's uncomfortable to grow. I feel like this attaches with the authenticity thing, right? It's uncomfortable to be authentic when you haven't been authentic before. So this kind of is part of it, but it also includes just growing and moving closer to your goals and your dreams and sort of who you want to be. Not that who you are right now isn't beautiful, because I think that people being authentically themselves is the goal. But within that, there's also growth, right? We are living beings, and all animals, all plants, they grow and develop and age and get older. So I don't think we're supposed to stay stagnant. I don't think you need to change who you are at your core. I think who you are at your core is already beautiful, but there is always growth to be had. And it doesn't mean change, it means growth. But in growth, there is a lot of discomfort. If we think about butterflies, if we think about a seedling under the earth, they have to kind of break through these barriers. A butterfly has to really like go to sludge, I believe. It goes from a caterpillar to sludge and then comes out a butterfly, and it has to break through its cocoon. Birds have to break through the shell of the egg to get out. Seedlings have to like be in the dark underground and then kind of push their way through the earth to find the sun and the light. And there's a lot of discomfort and challenge and things to work through in order to get through to that growth. Somebody's literally blowing up their paddleboard outside. I really hope you can't hear it. I'm so sorry if you can. Yeah, and I know this. I was a personal trainer. I've trained to be a personal trainer, so I've done a lot of sports in my life. So I really do understand the concept of struggle. Maybe struggle is the wrong word. Of challenge, let's say, in growth and improving and reaching your goals. And I think personally, I wonder if other people agree with this, or maybe you find it the opposite way. I find it really easy to work through physical challenges. So maybe this is just because I did grow up doing a lot of sports and physical activity, so it's a bit more normal to me. But I think working through a physical challenge is significantly easier than working through, I was going to say a mental challenge, but I mean like like internal personal development. Oh dear, so loud. I'm so sorry. It's distracting me as well. I get distracted really, really easily if I hear sounds. I really can't concentrate, so I'm going to try really hard to focus and concentrate on what I'm talking about while there's noise outside. So yeah, I find it really hard to work through that challenge when it's this internal self-growth, self-development aspect. I think when it's physical, you can kind of just like shut off and focus. And when it's a growth aspect, there's this safety involved, this very internal, what am I trying to say? These like systems that our brain has created for us to keep us safe, and they're really strong. And I think that working through those and trying to grow from those and heal those parts of ourselves that were once there to help us and to keep us safe and are now holding us back, I think that's really difficult. I'm not saying that's easy. You know, this is this journey is not for the faint of heart. It's difficult. And I don't mean this just spiritually. This could be anything. Right now, I am working through a lot of things with business and money and like material attainment. So yes, money, but other things too, like looking after my environment and my space and looking after like my body physically. Yeah. So there is struggle. There's supposed to be struggle. It is going to be difficult. And there is, I made a short yesterday, I think it was yesterday, talking about flow and force. And I've talked about flow and force a lot. It's one of my main mantras. And flow, not force. That's my mantra. And I think that when we think of flow, we can think of this very easy stream just trickling along. But flow can also be rapids. Flow can also be waterfalls. And rapids and waterfalls are not easy, gentle bodies of water. They are chaotic. They are dangerous. They are a challenge. Like if we were riding on them, they're a challenge. And sometimes flow is the rapid. Sometimes flow is a waterfall. Sometimes it's a gentle stream. And we need to be able to differentiate between what is force and what is rapids, let's say. Because if you're forcing something, then there is a blockage in the way. Something is stopping you from getting through, and it means you need to divert your course, right? That's what force means. It's just like forcing for no good reason. And rapids, the rapid version of flow, is still flow. It's still moving. It's still going in the direction it needs to be going. It's still heading for the destination it's supposed to be heading for. But it's chaotic and it's crazy and it's unpredictable and it's uncomfortable. And it takes practice, I think, in learning the difference between force and something like rapids or waterfall. They can feel really similar. And I don't know if I have any advice on how to differentiate. I think you just need to notice when something feels difficult, tune into it. Am I forcing something to happen that's just really not wanting to happen? Or is this just difficult? Is this just a challenge and it's something to be persistent with and to keep flowing through, even if it is the rapids? Yeah, I don't know if I can give you that answer, but that's just something to think about. It's something that I have thought about for a very long time and I've considered in many different ways, but it's just showing up in my life now, like in this really visible, obvious way in my life where, oh, this isn't force. The hard work, the difficulty that I'm facing with my business and with money and everything like that. And not just with money and business, but also the way in which this is asking me to grow, to really step out of my comfort zone, to move through things that I've struggled with in the past, to heal. Sorry about that. My camera overheated. Let's see if it likes me again. Can't really remember what I was speaking about. Yeah, there's a lot of things that I've had to work through, and I'm now really noticing that this part of my life is rapids. It's rapids. And I think that there are a few times in my past that I have approached rapids and been in the middle of the rapids, or started the rapids, should I say. And I thought it was force. And I've gotten off, or I've gotten off the boat, or moved to the side, or gone backwards, or whatever it is, taken a different course. And ultimately, the problem with that is then I got stuck because there wasn't another path for me to go, because it wasn't force, it was rapids, and I was supposed to go down it. I was supposed to go down the struggle and the difficulty and the challenge and the discomforts, and I wasn't ready. I'm not shaming myself for not having gone down it. All of these things are lessons, and those experiences in the past have helped me to get to the point where I am now ready to take on these rapids. So, yeah, I guess that's where I'm at. I hope that some of that may have spoken to you, inspired you, given you some things to think about in your own life and your own things that you're approaching. Very quickly, I will talk about my workshop that I have next Monday, the 15th of June. It is connecting with nature. So it's my first workshop that I'm doing. Like I said, this is the first thing I'm doing. It's going to be a nice sort of simple one to get us started. There's going to be some deeper topics as we go through the months, but this one is going to be nice and easy and, a beautiful thing to connect and develop and rebuild our relationship with nature. So if for whatever reason you've been feeling a bit distant from nature, whether you've never felt connected to nature or whether something's happened recently, whether you've moved and you don't know how to reconnect to the land that you're now on, the new land you're now on, please come and join us. There's a workshop and we're going to go through just some wisdom about connecting to nature, some reminders. Maybe it's stuff you already know, maybe it's new things you've never considered. And then 28 days following the workshop, we'll be doing an embodiment challenge where we will do one small little practice or it's going to be a variety of things, but one small thing each day that will help us to embody the wisdom that we've learned from the workshop. So I'm trying to bring you wisdom, bring you inspiration, but also help you to actually bring it into your life as well and not just learn it and then move on. I really am trying to emphasize the part where we actually bring it into our lived life and don't just let spirituality and things be just up here, but actually have them in our physical life. Description link will be in the description if you want to join that. There'll be one link if you want to just join this one workshop, and there'll be another link if you want to join my portal membership. And the portal membership will give you access to every workshop moving forward. And you will also have the recordings of every previous workshop that has been done. Obviously, this is the first one for now. So that's it for now. If you liked this video, please do give it a like. And if you want to see more videos from me, then please subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you back. And let me know any thoughts that you have about any of this in the comments. I would really love to hear from you. And until next time, bye.